Hey, Apple Talk listeners, big news coming from the US. Basically, if you have an app which is listed on the US App Store, there's some big news which came up over the weekend. Basically, we've all has heard about it now. Apple has lost the court battle with Epic, meaning that developers now will be able to provide other payment methods except Apple Pay within your app. What does this mean for React Native developers, for Expo developers? Basically, it means that we are able to steer developers outside the Apple ecosystem and provide our external links. This is good in the sense that, like, now Apple will stop its anti-steering mechanisms whereby they'll put like very scary warnings when you link users outside. And also, it means that they won't be able to charge us that 27% fee if you have like payments off the app. Let's do a deep dive. What does this mean? Basically, they released their app review, and there's rule 3.1.1a, which talks about linking out and in app messaging. Basically, you can now put a pay on the web button in your React Native app. They can't do anything about it. Whether they won't there are still arguments out there. Some people are saying that if you do this in the background, they might remove some rankings of your app. But this is just speculation at the moment. I'm sure they won't do anything that radical because they have eyes, the scrutiny is on them right now. If they do anything which the judge might feel is offensive and like it's they're not playing according to the rules, they might get even a bigger fine. So they probably don't want to do something like that. Also, one thing to note out as well is that like there are caveats when you are going to use this new method. Basically, you have to use Apple's paid link entitlements with a clear wording, and there are also sections talk about like that there should be no price cut. Does that mean that the price that you put on the app and the price that you put on your website or Stripe, wherever outside of the app, they must be the same price? Um, Currently, I've seen that that's not the case because you will see that Spotify and Netflix actually doing some. They have the UI already there, and you can see the prices are kind of like different. But this is all new. Everyone is actually discovering as it comes along. So what are the dev implications for us developers? Basically, now is that we have even more options for in-app purchases within our React Native apps. I've seen that the teams at PayPal and Stripe, Revenue Cat, Polar, you name it, all the payment options or methods are which are available. They've been releasing guides on how you can implement their system or their payment options within your app. So I mean that like now we have more options. Sometimes more is good, sometimes more is bad because with more options means that like there might be some confusion in the sense of like customers now will have similar to how you have like the login methods. You know how now you have Apple, Google, Twitter or X, you have Pinterest login options. So you might start seeing something like that when it comes to payments on React Native developers or on our apps. That might drive conversions down, but it can also drive conversion up depending on what's your subscription on your app or how much the products cost on your app, and if you use the different methods, how much. So it's something that if you have a team, you just have to experiment with that and see how it goes. But either way, this is exciting. This is something which is really nice for us developers. But one thing now which is an issue is that like as we're talking about dev implications here, is that like most of the time when we list our app to the Play Store, we almost list most of the countries as an option to sell our app. So that means that now you must do some conditionals because the payment options are only available in the US and the EU as their own. So it's currently confusing at the moment, but this is really cool. So what I want you to do is that try it out yourself. Try a quick test build with the entitlements on test flight, and let me know how it goes. And we might do a follow up Q&A. But also do look at some of the options or some of the apps which are already implementing the system. The 102 one, it's Spotify. Spotify previously would put a text saying that there are no payment options, but now they are linking you outside of the store. Netflix is another one that I've heard about, but like there are ample other options. And also look at the likes of Revenue Cat, and look at the likes of Stripe. They all release guides on how you can implement this in your app. So yeah, try it out. I'll also try it out on my app as well. I'm gonna be releasing a new app as well, which will have this option. Uh, Keep an eye out for that. But yeah, that's all for this episode. I'm trying something new, but I'm gonna give you these quick 7 minutes like podcasts, or basically it's like speed points on what is happening in the world of React Native and Expo. So I hope you like this format, and also feel free to give this podcast a rating on Apple or Spotify or wherever you're listening to this podcast, and also subscribe as well. I'd say you guys are giving me a lot of love. I appreciate it. See you on the next one.